and welcome to another edition of X's and Ro Roman Rants. I'm your boy Ro, contributor for State of the U and OG member of the Orange Bowl Boys, fresh off my birthday. Thank you for all the well wishes yesterday. I really appreciate that. And Roman Rants is just that simple series where we type in Miami Hurricanes in the search bar and we provide commentary for the first thing that pops up. Now, last week we had about almost 19 minutes of commentary, and you guys keep me on my toes. Immediately I had the corrections in the comment section of YouTube. Thank you for being interactive in that section. But I accidentally called KJ Osborne, the former Buffalo transfer who made the NFL, is currently on an NFL roster right now. I called him KJ Harris. Now, this, just so you know, it wasn't a figment of my imagination. This is KJ Harris. He's a former teammate of mine. Before he went on and played for West Virginia and then went on and played the NFL, including the Miami Dolphins, KJ Harris was drafted by the Texas Rangers with myself, and we played on an A-ball affiliate together. And one of the most infectious laughs on a human being I've ever heard in my life. Just a real big booming laugh, an infectious teammate. KJ, I wish you well. Hope everything's going well. And I accidentally called Kyle Bellamy, Bill Bellamy, which is an old school MTV VJ. So you got to go back a little while in that MTV generation when they actually played music. And yeah, that was, So sorry, Kyle, and sorry, KJ Osborne. So with those corrections aside, let's move on to this week. In one of the biggest headlines, once you typed in Miami Hurricanes in the search bar, the Miami Hurricanes had their first fall scrimmage. It was closed to media. It was closed to prying eyes. Some stats came out, and I'll go ahead and reiterate some of those stats. But one of the things, as you're watching this video that's provided by Canes Football, Will Mallory, he's back, tight end one, right? In this case, this is good for the offense. This is bad for the defense. When you see a tight end basically wide open along the sideline deep in the red zone, he's high school wide open, nobody's around him. That's great for the offense. That's bad for the defense. This is what this offense is going to do with the tempo sometimes. If they can go ahead, get you on tempo, get you downfield, they can go ahead and through a myriad of looks, and they just, with that pace, sometimes you could have lapses. We saw it a lot last year, too, a lot of wide open guys. High school wide open, that's easy. That's easy for any quarterback. And speaking of the quarterback, D'Eriq King, you're back. 12 for 16, 75%, mind you. 124, including 2 touchdowns, and this was one of the touchdowns right here. To Will Mallory. When Manny Diaz talked about D'Eriq King, big smile, there he is. Big smile came on his face. We've been saying this now for a while. Doesn't seem to be hampered by his injury whatsoever. He was also praised for extending the pocket, creating more plays that way with his feet. Good to see D'Eriq King shake off that injury and come back. This is going to be a second touchdown, and this is going to be to Charleston Rambo, the Oklahoma way transfer, who we expect to pay dividends on the outside. Miami definitely needed an outside receiver presence and force, and hopefully Charleston Rambo is that guy. So there you go with that touchdown. Hey, some freshmen, Thad Franklin, big bruiser, man, big boy, coming in there. You know who that is, number 7. Also praised for that. And we're going to get to the next segment and jump on this video because it's going to be the young wide receivers who are going to start showing up right there. There you go. Young wide receivers right there. That's Jacoby George, who took a slant for a touchdown. There's a slant for a touchdown. But he also added 7 catches for 127 yards. Not to be outdone, Romello Brinson caught 4 passes for 73. And Brashard Smith had 2 catches for 30 yards. And this was all according to Diaz. Really nice core crop of wide receivers that came in with that true freshman class. And when you add those redshirt freshmen too, including Xavier Restrepo, who just was electric. Every time this kid hits the field, there he is. Look at this. This guy could get open in a phone booth. OBB brand ambassador. You can catch him all the time repping our podcast, the Orange Bowl Boys. So there you go. So those are some of the highlights. Really, really centered around the fact that the young wide receivers kind of stole the show, and D'Eriq King came in there and did D'Eriq King things. Also, here you go, some clips and pictures from that scrimmage. This is Corey Gaynor yelling, being an emotional spark plug for his team. They have Navon Donaldson now listed kind of right guard. He's been switching back from left guard. I think they're still trying to solidify their starting 5, exactly where they're going to be, try to figure out where they gel the most. But if you have Navon Donaldson on the right side at right guard, and then you also have you also have Jared next to him at the right tackle position. That's 12 years. That's 12 years of experience just alone. You have a seventh senior. He's on that Scott Patchen plan, right? That Scott Patchen, that Dr. Renfrew plan. And that's how I'm talking about Jared Williams, the right tackle, who he was the starting right tackle last year. And then if you have Navon Donaldson as the right guard, who's now a fifth-year senior. So you have an experience-laden offensive line. I think they're comfortable with a 7. I made the case on the last Orange Bowl Boys episode. The backup offensive line could potentially start at some ACC schools, just that second team line. So you're going to need that this year. Offense, for all intents and purposes, maybe won the day against the defense in that scrimmage. This was exciting. This is Keontra Smith, who also was praised by Manny Diaz because Keontra at this point, he got praise, and so did Zach McLeod. He had a pass breakup, had a sack, and had 4 tackles, and he did it from a will linebacker position, not a striker position, so he's at that will position, and you get that influx of speed. We like this. We like this, Miami fans. That's you're going to get a lot of speed down here. A lot of the position players, wide receivers, you should get speed. It's Miami. It's all over the place. You get plucked off trees down here. So the ability to get Keontra on the field, that see him ball out in that good news, good positive news as far as that. The position change with Zach McLeod going down there. He also got a sack late game, so that also played really, really good. We turn this now. The coaches' polls are coming in too, AP polls. So 14 University of Miami is listed there, top 15 team. I'd like to hear your thoughts on that. I think that's fair. I don't think that's egregiously high. I don't think that's negating them to any aspect whatsoever. 14 in the land there's the man, Manny Diaz, who was giving his thoughts once again, gushing about De'Ara King, gushing about the freshman. We talked about Keontra. So definitely talking about the highlights that we had there. And like I said, scrimmage 1 was dominating everything. 2 hands, 2 knees, and what a catch by Charleston Rambo here. Look at this man. Look at this man. Look at this dude. Hey, here you go. DJ Dallas, NFL. This was nice to see, too. He was actually mic'd up with this, and this was pretty cool, especially when he comes down the sideline and says, go DJ, go DJ. You want to talk about an ambassador for the University of Miami. What a huge ambassador. Always repping to you. Made way from Georgia, but I swear that kid was born in the shadows of the Hard Rock Stadium because that guy loves the U and is always given his chance. We talked about Arroyo. There he is. Long line of succession for tight ends here. So there you go. Real quick commentary. Just like I said, it was dominated by that scrimmage game. It really, really was. And, we're getting closer to that Alabama game. So, kind of closing thoughts. My closing thoughts is this, all right? I don't know if this is going to be necessarily more on a down section, but, 14 in the land, it's fair. It's more maybe a little bit of a pump the brakes thing. Until Miami gets the talent discrepancy that Clemson holds over individuals within this league, I think you're still going to go ahead and play teams very, very close. Remember, I'm the guy who predicted the 8-4 record. It's a show me record, but I don't think I'm going to back off that record. And I'm gonna put it to you this way too. For those of you who remember the 2001 team, our generation talks about it. We talk about it a little bit too much, to be honest, because that 2001 team now is 20 years old. But the talent on that team, probably to the likes we might not ever see again, but the talent on that team, the first rounders, you see what you saw, right? You saw how they I still remember Andre Johnson. You couldn't cover that guy in the national championship guy. Nebraska tried. They couldn't get it done. It was like he was on a different planet. He had a different gear. But in terms of first-round talent on this current team, let's talk about it, right? So Zion Nelson. Zion Nelson's your left tackle. Some project him early first round. Some people don't even have him in the first round at all. So there's your guy at left tackle. And really, in terms of first-round talent, maybe the other guy that gets mentioned is Bubba Bolden. However, Bubba Bolden had a really off-and-on season last year. I would say the first 4 games of the year prior to that Clemson game, I thought he was possessed. He was a manimal. Definitely somebody that I was like, man, I haven't seen safety play like this. It was here, but man, did it drop. So there's some concerns there too. So I wouldn't necessarily say that he's a first-round talent. Maybe, second day, third day, possibly. So you don't have that top-end first-round talent. You got a couple of them last year, right, for 2 first-round defensive ends. I don't necessarily see that. De'Aaron King, I love De'Aaron King. A lot of NFL scouts say that he should be, contemplating a switch to that slot receiver. The Kyler Murray kind of comparisons, the Kyler Murray, he's actually 2 inches smaller than Kyler listed. Athletically, I think Kyler is just this real freakish dude. When he puts his foot in the ground, he's one of the more shifty individuals that I've ever seen, especially at the collegiate level. Arm talent-wise, I think Kyler's special there is too. And I love De'Aaron King. I sing his praises all the time. He's a great human being. And although he's a great college quarterback, I think he's definitely going to be top 3, top 5 this year. Miami Hurricanes have something special. I'm just talking about the NFL prospect and the NFL levels. Now, you recruited. You got the 11th recruited class of the year last year. You're going to have to continue to do that, including the number 1 safety in James Williams and 56 Nightmares, the number 1 defensive tackle. You continually do that. You continually keep stacking the chips. You continually getting first-round dudes. Then you're going to see a little bit of a pulling away nature. But until that happens, you still got to keep a little bit of healthy hesitation, because I just don't see that high-end talent that maybe others might see. And also, there's questions, there's concerns. The linebacker, we talked about it, but that linebacker position, I know you're shifting people around, which is great. But come on, I think I have a good, healthy expectation of this season. By no means necessary do I think this is a national championship team. I think we find that out early week 1. But I say stay patient. I say continuously do what this staff is doing. I think they improved in terms of coaching. I think they improved the roster talent, and you're just going to have to keep doing this a couple more times, and then it's going to get really, really interesting. So with that said, I'm your boy Ro, contributor for State of the U and OG member of the Orange Bowl Boys. I hope this video finds you guys safe and sound. Until next time, Canes fans, I'll talk to you soon.